Caitlyn going to be the first ban, but we've seen this on blue side a heck of a lot.
What's the red side? Caitlyn ban. Respect to Teddy in game 1, so having to move that to the blue side. Let's see what Jin Air is willing to give up, because it's probably going to have to be something, given where the pick and ban has kind of left us. Galio will not be the something. Kled going to be banned on blue side, so maybe a return to the Renekton from BBQ in the second round here.
Yeah, ask for a different answer from Jin Air. And will it just be the Zac Elise standard sort of run through here for Jin Air, as the Elise is the second one?
And it's deal with Syndra again. They could ban LeBlanc on blue side if they want, BBQ, as that was Kuzan's first answer. But because it's Kuzan, who does play things like the Vlad and Lissandra, I don't know if the LeBlanc ban will have as much value. Will be the kind of practice choice, as they basically say, well, I guess we're playing Syndra again.
Or Zac.
Zac would be a surprise to be given up, given that they just dealt with Syndra.
Yeah, Zac is going to be banned. So it makes sense. Classic red side 3. The red team. Syndra going to be a pretty understandable lock-in. But what did Jin Air get for it is the question. There are still other things that are available.
Can jump on that Lee Sin that we did not see from him in game 1.
Lee Sin Thresh, does that make sense as a first round?
Definitely could be. Other teams will look for Tahm Kench higher than the Thresh, but Snowflower is a noted Thresh player since his debut in LCK, so I could see him wanting to jump on that.
Could have potentially been a leave Zac open option, given how outspoken Mata was with how well Flay deals with the elastic slingshot.
Why even mess with it, though?
Well, precisely.
2 out of 3 times, 8 out of 10 times maybe the Flay comes off. If it doesn't, you might lose the game, so...
Yep.
If you're Mata, you got the big balls, sure, go for it. If not, just go with the percentage play.
Well, let's tempt with them this time. It's Karma. Flex pick, Kuzan and Snowflower if they want it.
Kuzan does play it in the mid lane sometimes, so bit of a flip on the script, but was no AD carry or support taken in the first round last time, you'll remember, and we had that interesting spot where bot lanes were being put together. So here is action back onto BBQ. Blast had largely found success with the Gragas previously, and doesn't show any information to take it here.
They can go for the same draft if they want to. Gragas Renekton could actually just be locked in if they feel like it.
The Renekton's definitely safer than it was before. You can see Jin Air tempting fate and going for something like a Jace top lane to try and play into it. That's been a good pick for Ixu, but sort of pick that Renekton with a gank can definitely run over.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe
Jarvan is another option. Yeah, so still going to be fielding the full top side of the map, BBQ, but it's going to be Jarvan this time, and Ixu goes for the Rumble. Okay, so some mixed damage coming out of Jin Air. Opportunities for Kuzan to mix things up if he wants to, assuming Snowflower could pick up the Karma.
Not many career games for Ixu on Rumble. Let's have a look at the stats. I believe... No, he has actually played the 9 games, but what I remembered was the win rate. He's 1-8 in his career on Rumble.
Aha.
So he's tried it many times, but success he has not found. Not a Rumble main. So
hasn't played it this season at all as well.
Yeah, 9 games over the 2 years that he has been on the top fight stage here in Korea. 1-8. Not great reading is... Okay, Jin Air will make one adjustment, banning away the Xayah.
Aha. So they noted her on the damage graph.
So will BBQ effectively force Kuzan to go Karma into the Syndra? Because Karma mid can just kind of wave clear and BK, but you want it to be a flex, not kind of a force, by banning away something like the Vladimir, which is the Kuzan special, into the Syndra.
And do they actually decide to ban something like the Lissandra? Because we remember, back in the metas of old, Papa Smithy, Lissandra Rumble was disgusting.
I can't see a ban, even though you respect Kuzan for playing it at any moment. Just like some people have a pocket Draven, he has a pocket Lissandra. Seems less likely, especially with Karma kind of being the obvious mid lane pick here. So it's fine just to invest your ban in utility, taking Teddy off of the Ashe.
Still does have the Varus as an option.
Yep. Probably smart to go there as well. They don't have much CC on the lineup otherwise.
Yep. Want to start these fights as well as possible, but Varus Karma, decent lane. Still keeping things flexible inside of Jin Air.
Could be taking something like a Lucian mid lane if they want to, but it sounds very painful against Syndra. They do have the latitude for a physical damage mid laner, though.
Yep. It's the furthest we've seen a Thresh fall through a draft as well. So now Ghost is going to get back on his Kalista.
Certainly has a pretty beefy Wombo front line to skip around. Just looking for the support choice here on the side of BBQ. What do they give credit for? Is it going to be a Karma in the support role? We'll just go for Braum and try to straddle the line between options. Braum can sometimes fight against ranged supports.
Felt like Thresh was possibly the no-brainer, as this may be one of the first times that he falls through the whole draft this season.
Action under Jhin. Will we see a curveball being thrown here? Looking like the answer is no. Huzan isn't really known as a Zed player or anything like that, so when it comes to mid laners that can fight against Crazy, you could see maybe Jace, but Jace versus Syndra definitely does go one way or the other. So they're just going to go for the Karma mid lane, wave clear, lower damage comp from Jhin, but importantly, is on Lee Sin, so he is the person who's really benefited from the pick and ban here. Did well on the Elise in game 1, but on Lee Sin has been a scary proposition in summer.
I'm also not sure about how well this particular composition stacks up against what BBQ have put together, which looks very similar to what they had the last time. I mean, I know the Blitzcrank Zarya was something that really stood out in that comp, but still very solid, powerful lanes. And they had the Elise. They had the mega power pick coming out of Jhin that first pick was able to get them. Now, without that, is this going to be the same level of fear? I mean, LeBlanc is certainly a much better assassin-style champion than the likes of a Karma.
I think you have the right read. I do like BBQ's draft a whole lot. There's a lot of synergy between the members. They have good engage. Kalista has a lot of tanks to skip behind. You only need 2 items to get going. Feels like Jhin have a snowball draft where they have to make things work specifically through the jungle. Otherwise, Karma mid lane probably going to have to go utility here. Then it's Varus who have to flash the moment he sees Cataclysm come through. A lot of what Varus is doing is probably going to be forced. So I'm going to be looking for pushing lanes from the side of Jhin and some battle warding from the side of Get it done in the earlier mid-game, otherwise it's going to be headaches aplenty for Jhin.
Yeah, we need Ixu to have one hell of a game as well, because the mid-game certainly belongs to the Rumble for Jhin here. Well, see what they can do as we hop into game number 2. Okay, here we are. Summoner's Rift. Game number 2. Back on his Lee Sin. Was overlooked last time.
Godfist Lee Sin action.
Who's Godfoot in there?
This is sort of draft from Jhin that we've seen Katie Rolster pull off at times, but it is very much about carrying your early game through to the mid game and ending it in the first 30. Somewhat Jhin fans finding their voice. Varus just has such a target on his head in this game that you don't really feel like the rest can do heavy damage lifting, and it's still Teddy. You know, number 2 in percentage of team's damage, number 1 in CS post 15 minutes, which means that 34% of creeps go to Teddy after the 15-minute mark, when lanes have traditionally ended top 5 in DPM in the league. They still play around Teddy, but to draft Varus into this particular comp lets you know there's a lot of headaches in the late game to actually get full value out of the Varus.
There we saw a bunch of the stats. J4, did you see anything that was notable? I didn't actually spot anything out that looked weird.
I mean, we got to see the stats overlay, which looks weird given that Riot Games loves to not show that.
Yeah.
Still the same overlay from the start.
Yeah.
It'll be spruced up one day.
One day. Soon TM. Wait, that's more of a Blizzard thing. My bad.
No, that's definitely a Riot.
Am I mixing memes?
No, Soon TM is definitely an old Riot name. All right, good. Ixu can still push. Push on the Jarvan is something that Rumble can do, but can't necessarily ignore all the damage either, given that Jarvan has good base values.
Speaking of base values, Karma, certainly one of those. Does take a fair bit of damage here himself, but that added button that you get at level 1. Still feeling good as Umpty.
Oh, he's going on a walk.
Yeah.
Where's he walking to? For now, it looks like the mid lane. All right.
There's the flash and the ghost. As there's the flash Q. Umti, he may still even get this kill. The red buff slowing him down. As Kuzan doesn't have a whole lot more waiting for the Q. There it is. Boom. First blood goes to Kuzan.
What an insane gank. Just Raptors red into ganking mid lane the moment that the Tempt had his flash down. Because Umti knew he could flash in. We said, get it started early. Make the moves, and already, first move goes to Jin Air.
Yep, and we said that this is a snowball composition. Things are looking great so far as Ixu is going to try and prove me wrong as best he can, especially with Bless now coming up here as well. Crazy's taking a lot of damage. Maybe don't want to dive this.
You say that.
Okay. Well, there's the
Good
flash away
flash.
from the body slam. The teleport was gained, so Kuzan not going to have that summoner spell, but still, gank denied. Crazy has to go home.
That does mean that Kuzan can't actually buy. He wasn't able to pick up a purchase for the first one, and they're just going to come back.
Okay, that'll do it.
Well,
Bless picks up the kill. So, okay,
Oops.
Ixu, probably don't just like walk out there and assume that he's gone when you've got no vision.
that was silly. They did so much good work to avoid the first gank, and then just took the reverse gank instantly. Kind of undoes some of the good work around the mid lane, and now Kuzan doesn't have any ability to purchase. That's a pretty big cost, Atlas, if you think about it.
Yeah.
You've got first blood, can't build a chalice or anything.
Oh, another max range body slam, but Umti, he was waiting for it. He wanted to
four.
find this one.
Oh.
Focused Resolve goes in there, and that's just one more. And this is why we didn't see Syndra in the meta for so long, because once she doesn't have summoner spells and she's not ahead, she's just dead.
I mean,
all the time.
Bless knew. Bless was like, "I see you, mate. Can't do anything there."
Yeah, good luck, buddy.
Feels like Blank is being...
He wished him well in his future endeavors.
Umti's doing his best Blank impersonation from that Ever8 versus SKT match where he ganked Scepted a couple of times, and then that was a bit comical.
Yep.
You're right, 14 CS Syndra comes back with just boots. Doesn't even have a second Doran's.
Yeah. Well, Ixu's the same story, so we'll see which story's going to be the more sad. The top lane or the mid lane for both of these teams is Teddy and Snowflower going very aggressive as far as
And Snowflower's the
getting
one
damage
furthest
down.
up as well.
Yeah.
I'm going to say the mid lane is the saddest story, Atlas, because Rumble can build 2 items and be fine.
Yep.
And Syndra needs to be ahead to be respectable. And she's not. She's way behind.
Super mega behind.
And now she'll probably never be able to kill Karma because Kuzan, predictably, going to go into Athene's.
Oh no, not the Athenes build.
Athenes.
I don't like Athenes build as much as I like the uber mega I'm a donkey build, which Crown showed us is meta.
But if you go the Crown build, Totoro just laughs, puts up his shield, and then it does nothing. So you don't do that here. That'd be wrong.
Unless you have enough damage to kill him through it.
No.
Okay, yeah.
Also, you have Teddy on your team, so giving him shields is usually a pretty good idea.
Yeah, that sounds good. Okay.
It's time for Athene's redemption, etc., coming from this team.
Yeah.
They know who the VIP is, and it's Teddy.
Yeah, probably will be that Ardent Sensor situation as well.
Could also be one of those games where SKT drops comps like this, and then Umti does Peanut-esque things and just becomes a frontline damage threat on Lee Sin. Another couple of successful ganks, and it's possible.
Yeah, in fact, very aggressive build towards this Warrior Enchantment as well. Has his hammer done already. He's now looking for
War.
Yeah, he is. Oh my goodness, that is an aggressive control ward.
That's probably going to spot it. Usually you duck your head in here. Spots it now. Level 6 just... Oh, sorry, it wasn't level 6. It looked like level 6, but it's a bit more experience for Umti.
Yeah, Inspire, not actually even worried about the W of Tempt. The shield is enough to deal with it. Now we've got a bit of a battle. Oh wow, lots of damage from Bless actually.
Yeah, Umti was caught between actually auto-attacking the control ward and turning on to Bless, who just gave up free health and will have to back away and probably just take his red buff.
Slight item advantage for Bless as well, as does have his Tracker's Knife. As
Here we go.
There's the kickback. But can they actually follow up on this one quickly enough? Slow, and there's the equalizer. Walk down the red carpet, my friend. And Kuzan once again, it's a fadeaway Q.
Really nice equalizer coming through from
Yeah,
Ixu.
really nice.
Again, out of his territory a little bit, jumping onto the Rumble. No Flower at the same time, knowing that the junglers on the top side can go ward the bottom side. Look at Jin Air. I love that they know what to do when they're ahead, because this has never really been their MO.
So excited. You sound like a proud father, Papa.
I do.
The
I'm a proud...
The Papa part of your name is most certainly very apt.
I'm
this
a
game.
proud papa.
He's a proud pup.
Jin Air's growing up in front of our eyes.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Everyone's a glad plane.
We're all a glad plane today.
Yay.
Apart from BBQ fans.
They don't give us free chicken anymore.
Yeah,
Whatever.
they're sad chickens.
Blessing Vision. Won't be contesting the red buff here, will Umti, but information is power.
Oh my god. Look at the mid lane Papa Smithy. That's a completed Athene's in comparison to a Null Magic Mantle book.
I mean, Athene's is cheap, but it's very gold efficient. It's over 100% gold efficient for the stats it gives. And then the passive will clearly be used to keep Teddy alive in team fights, so that's pretty cool as well.
Yeah. By the way, I haven't had this conversation with anyone before. Null Magic Mantle. Does it look like a crappy brown skirt to you? Does that mean that Tempt has a crappy brown skirt, a ring and a book to his name, and brown bags of shoes?
I mean, the shoes really do look like crappy brown
it's
bags.
like it's a poverty-looking build though.
I feel like the Null Magic Mantle looks like a rich man's compared to the crappy brown bags.
Ah, okay.
So I can't fully get behind you, but I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Just feel like it is quite sad for Tempt, who has been in the past.
Jeanette continuing the
Big player for
snowball,
this team, yep.
invading. Won't be able to contest the blue buff, but I like to see Jeanette on the front foot. They realize this is their time where they're stronger. They have crazy item advantage in the mid lane, so good to see them trying to push.
And that was still a win for them because that's no blue on the Syndra, no tools to try and get back. Silence timing for Ixu gets a charged up auto attack.
We'll respect the base damages by going for Seeker's Arm Guard first, but predictably we'll probably go from there into the Leandries.
Yeah, I like it. I like the efficiency of a stacked up Seeker's Arm Guard. Oh, feels good. Don't see it stuck on for quite a lot of the time.
A little bit more nowadays,
Yeah,
just
a little bit
because
more nowadays,
you're
that's
paying
true.
so much of the rest of the Zhonya's gold for the stasis that, you know, unless you really crave overheating the front line, which certainly Rumble does, rushing it is definitely much less of a thing.
Yep.
Can you remember many people going first item Zhonias? Maybe like Talia in a Z matchup, but that's about it.
Yep. Morgana.
Feel my pain. It seemed like the right thing to say.
Well, there's the stun, and that's it. On to Kuzan.
And Umti is lurking as well.
Done it. Ooh. The God Fist himself. Looking for a Mountain Drake. A lot of health on this bad boy, but should probably still be able to solo this one down relatively easily, especially with the added notifications of the locations of the mid and jungle. Very
He's
confusing way
losing
of
this
saying
trade pretty hard in top.
that. Yeah, does have his flashback available as, okay, that Cataclysm was just immediately stopped. He doesn't have any mana. So he's still probably going to have to go home. He does have a little bit of that regen from the Doran shield working out.
Kench is coming top lane. Here's the Abyssal Voyage.
Flagon drags out. Slight misunderstanding of the mana costs, I think.
Now,
there.
you're talking about misunderstandings. Let's talk about something else.
Oh, the lane swapping.
And let's rewind, because from Thursday onwards, we've seen a lot of Tahm Kench priority. We saw Wednesday, I believe, everyone was basically first picking Tahm Kench as a denial to Thresh. If you're also in a meta where in scrims, every team between 8 and 12 minutes is doing a lane swap, Abyssal Voyage to get you into the lane swap faster is a fun little interaction to talk about, where if this is predictable, if you can say basically every team, 8 to 12 minutes, they want to swap to top lane, try to take the turret, fall back into Rift Herald, which is now the premier objective to pick up, and certainly is a great one to pick up here, then it makes a lot of sense that Tahm Kench, not just for the denial of pick power, but also the Abyssal Voyage, jumps up in priority.
And also the incredible power of double teleport plus Abyssal Voyage, and Umpty with 100% kill participation in the early game, picking up a contribution to 3 kills, means that if Umpty's ever in a bad spot, he can have his whole team there in an instant.
Speaking of his team, the Karma has massive pressure on the Syndra. They haven't been able to have Syndra walk up. Normally Syndra has pressure on anyone, right? So it'd be madness to be sneaking a Rift Herald, given that scenario. All right, here's an attempted engage. Rumble's coming first.
Oh, the double teleports are coming in. Totoro, he was slowed for so long.
Here we
There's
go!
the flash kick! The Callista has to flash as Ixu burns him down. Umpty's gonna die as the trade, but it's certainly going in favor of Jin Air so far. Losing a lot of their creeps. And Jarvan, they certainly will be able to get work done on the bottom side. So BBQ some good things to talk about, but if this tower falls down, especially if they're able to get a dive in.
Karma's here.
Yeah, Kuzan wants it. Lickitung comes out, gets the slow. And look at this. That needlessly large rod on top of the weird cup that he's got. Doing a whole bunch of work here for the Karma. By weird cup, I of course mean on Athene's on Holy Grail, but it is just a cup. Like, how does that give you extra health back from a
chalice?
A chalice. No, it evolves from a chalice to a cup.
Okay, it's a goblet then.
Oh, I'll give you a goblet.
Yeah.
That sounds good. Just realized that sounded weird.
You shouldn't have dwelled on that one.
I know, but
you didn't need to dwell on it.
I took the bait. Oh, gross. Okay, Kuzan boosting himself back to this lane. Mercury treads in hand. Doesn't want to get stunned up by this Syndra, who's starting to power up ever so slowly. Probably once again going to be looking for something like the Banshee's Veil, but at the moment got a bevy of different items.
But the problem there is that if you're being outmatched by a utility shielding mid laner, then whoever you're getting focused on is going to get a pretty sick shield with all the ability power and the Athene's heal, and thus even bursting someone other than the mid laner is going to be hard. So this far behind in items,
he's got more to worry about. He can't, if it's a 5v5 situation or if Snowflower's anywhere, then he has to throw it at the Tahm Kench, or the Devourer is just going to save them.
Target selection for Syndra that's this far behind, pretty awful.
Yeah. And look, gets any further behind, it'll be irrelevant because he won't even be able to kill people.
But you do know, like, Crown is watching this game being like, yes, yes, make the Syndra look bad.
Syndra loses 2 games in a row this series. This is
going
to warp statistics like crazy.
This is what MVP need. They need to get Syndra.
Maybe. Well, there's a body slam. Oh, Umti actually taking a lot of damage. The
ult
attempt grabs a kill.
Well, used to shielding himself for movement speed there. So Kuzan not being a buddy for Umti. Umti will fall.
That would have been actually a lot of shielding as well. There's the stun. Kuzan not too worried about it. Umti probably going to be pretty mad at Kuzan after that. Now has a Hex Drinker, so he's going to be feeling better.
Hopping around mid lane, wants to at least use a flash. That he's moving up as the Drake is being started. In full vision for Jin Air, but no way for them to contest. They don't have a jungle there, so first free objective over to BBQ.
Yeah, too many sticks in it. Ghost, of course, pretty comfortably able to take that one down. Plus, they could all exit through the back of the pit if they wanted to.
Kuzan can't leave because I imagine Umti just wants to head mid lane and put down the Rift Herald he's been sitting on for a little while. Taking Syndra's turret will be kind of absolutely a exclamation point on the early game, and as you can see, he's got maybe like 10 seconds left of it, so it's time to stick it down.
Yeah, also gives Syndra absolutely nowhere to go. Denying Syndra a turret is so important.
Missile Voyage probably going to come through as well, as Tahm Kench and Varus were around the mid lane. Tempt is backing. Put down that Rift Herald. Put it down. You know you want to.
He actually has to.
Yep.
There we go. It was certainly running out.
And it was just as Tempt recalled, so yep, free turret here. It's going down. Goodbye, turret.
Nicely played. Going to be second turret here for Jin Air, continuing this lead.
Boom.
Will be about 3,000 after the dust settles.
No one wants to walk up. Even
Ow.
Karma. Interesting. Here we go.
Kuzan avoids almost everything. Really good equalizer to deny any sort of engagement, and the tower falls down. Ixu, I mean, if the start of the lane was difficult for him, he's now even in CS, and his equalizers have been great that we've seen so far.
It's a step up from him from his first 9 games on Rumble. I agree. The equalizers have been super good. Didn't really have any items because he's been very safe, you know, just been buying things to get through lane. He's done that, and now he's closer and closer to the items he's looking for. Teddy does overstay a little bit for the turret, but he has Tahm Kench Devour available, so they add multiple objectives. All 3 turrets down in an instant from the side of Jin Air Green Wings, and now they have a lot more map to play. And you follow, once again, the champions that they drafted, where they were looking for that early to mid-game priority. So far, so good.
This is the intelligent sort of play that we expect from this team now. We didn't used to. Sometimes the drafts were questionable. It was almost like if they didn't draft for late game, they were screwed, even though they still tried to draft early game compositions. Played them like a late game comp. Now, they're actually being able to play aggressively, proactively, and understanding where their power windows are.
And I think that's really important because for years, again, for years, it didn't matter who was on the team. You saw them draft for early game, and your first thought as an analyst was, you can't play that, which sounds like a very condescending thing to say about a team, but again and again they proved that if there was a timing window they had to take advantage of, they were unable to do it.
Yeah.
Felt like it was maybe a coaching issue because, again, there was a bit of a player change, a lot of player change over that time, but it was still the same old Jin Air. Now you see Jin Air, and they may still lose this game, but they've already been a lot smarter about playing early to mid-game, and so far this season they have been able to play to win conditions, whatever the comp.
And it's as well coming out in how each individual player's built out their champions as well. I mean, you've got Luden's Echo's second item for Kuzan for a 2-item power spike. Teddy's gone the Blade of the Ruined King Hurricane build instead of the Essence Reaver, which is more of a 3-item power spike build. They are going for the early game and want early game power in a composition that needs to get ahead at that stage of the game. It's
Every
fantastic.
item has that earlier break-even point. I completely agree. It's a really good comment there from you. I'm actually being, again, that's actually a compliment because I hadn't even really put that all together. It's a nice one, Atlas.
Oh, hell yeah, look at me. Make an analyst out of me yet, Papa Smithy. You just wait.
It's time for some rotatos.
Yeah, here's the Abyssal Voyage. Crazy's already used the Flag and Drag. He's got the flash. He should have to use it. Cute little directional change as he gets out of the Chains of Corruption, but have they got enough damage down on the Jarvan to force him out here because this inner turret is in trouble. And Jin Air, look at that. That's basically a Weaver's Wall.
Shall not pass is what Ixu says, and that gets them another objective, 4th turret of the game. We might see Ghost hop, skip, and jump his way to a first, although nope.
Double teleport.
No free lunches for BBQ.
Yep.
Which is awkward. They're sponsored by a fried chicken company.
Exactly. Well, it wasn't actually double teleport. That was Ixu backing, not teleporting, and Kuzan could easily deal with that minion wave. So I was wrong. Oh, one thing I also love about Luden's Echo on Karma's second item, yes, it's that early game power spike, but it's also added wave clear that they now have as well, and they want to be taking control of these minion waves so they can continue to have powers. Oh my god, okay. It also does a lot of damage, Papa Smithy.
Having a bit of a Jin Air love in here.
Yeah.
Everything's good.
I'm
Your items, the positions. Maybe Kuzan's overextended. Nope, he's fine.
Nope, because his bottom lane is right here.
Because on Jin Air, and Jin Air have not made mistakes in seconds now.
Yeah.
Maybe even minutes.
Has it been that I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I like so many things for interesting reasons. You know, I get excited when something is
that was a lot
too
of damage.
good. Yeah, that's a lot of damage. Oh, he lands the Q as well. Lets it time out. Cute little stun, but oh god, body slam has to be used defensively. As when Kuzan gets a little bit more of that cooldown reduction, that Q is going to be coming out like all the time. It's going to be horrible.
I think to answer your question, it's Umti. He's been the big difference. Having a jungler that has this much pressure, level 2 gank onto the mid lane, creative pathing, smart decisions, a bigger champion pool than just Lee Sin, although at least up there in the power levels as well. He has been the big difference to the team. By the middle of last season, he was the worst jungler in the league. He looked awful.
He did.
He was gone. He was a very young player. Clearly just didn't have... He had to play every game, didn't have a sub. I mean, Raze had to role swap just to give them a substitute jungler.
And he actually won them the game against BBQ last season as well.
But they persisted. Clearly the coach did a lot of work, and now they've got a great jungler in their team.
Also got a great team composition for doing things like this. Oh, no. Okay, never mind. The old Cataclysm and Bale situation for Crazy. Still did have to use everything in his arsenal to lock that one down as Jin Air. We get a Constellation Cloud Drake. Not exactly something that's super high pressure as Ghost of Totoro are pushing up towards the top side of the map. I believe they wandered over a ward momentarily.
Worth noting that Jin Air do have one kind of weakness in their comp. Even if everything early game focus is great for them, taking Baron's actually quite hard. You know, Karma doesn't really offer much there, and sure, Teddy does have Blade of the Ruined King, but Ixu had to go very respectful with his build, so he's only going to have Leandri's in a little bit, so pretty low Baron damage team, so can't necessarily rush that objective to force down even further turrets.
Tom Kench does a little bit of extra damage, though, to the old Baron.
Can we keep the glass half full, Jin Air? One-eyed casting down a bit, Atlas. I'm drawing the line. The line's at Tom Kench's Baron speed.
Yeah, okay, that's probably a good point. I just get excited about percent health damage, Papa Smithy. We all have our thing.
How do you feel about percentage health true
like
damage?
You're king-shaming me. Oh, dear. Okay, Teddy makes his way up. The mid lane, NXO's going to be able to help take down this blue buff at least. Not sure whether he's going to be... Oh, he's just going to take it. Never mind.
Cool.
The old blue buff rumble. Everyone wants themselves some cooldown reduction, and I don't think Kuzan needs any more.
It often actually screws up Rumble having cooldown reduction, so I don't really understand that one.
Yeah. It's like I really want to press on my buttons all the time. Oh wait, I'm silenced again.
Can be critical when you want to use the equalizer or something.
Yeah.
Usually you lead with it, so not always a big factor. Possibility.
Well, BBQ have done a decent job of slowing this game down. It's just a little bit over 4,000 gold, the lead here for Jin Air.
Easy objectives are also dried up a little bit. So
Yeah.
there is always that kind of natural hump where you have to really get a lot of things in order to be able to take inner turrets most of the time.
Back denied from Crazy. BBQ at least gets some room to move towards his Baron buff. Stand behind me, gets Totoro to safety.
Push up the control ward line to deny the Baron spotting vision from BBQ. If they can ever force if they can ever force BBQ to enter through one of the narrow entrances to Baron, they still do have the equalizer, which is now 2 items into the build.
Ixu, standing on a ward, buddy.
Standing on a control ward, so he should have known that.
Yeah.
They're looking to actually collapse here. Equalizer!
Oh, that equalizer was beautiful. Bless can't stay in this fight. They have at least pressured them away. Do they have the minion wave in order to get to this turret, though? Totoro taking a lot of damage. This poke coming out of Jinna, even though it's not super high range, is working very well.
That's only an explosive cast. He's still going to stay, though.
Okay, Crazy looking for the flanking play, and they lose the minion wave. Thankfully, Tempt has got to a point where he can clear.
I'm going all in.
Yeah, it's a big ultimate. Bates call is going to get another knock up, but the Zhonya's is there. Jinna lost none of their health bars, and Ghost couldn't move. Okay, Totoro, he's gone down very, very low, and Jinna just not taking any of the bait to dive underneath this turret. They just want to kill it.
And it turns out that it was just 2 Rambo from the side of Totoro. Jinna didn't even have vision over the most advanced parts, the raptor bush there. They didn't know where Jarvan was, so they would have had to be respectful. No way for Totoro to know that, but if that had gone on, it would have taken longer, I think, if there was no engage for Jin Air to actually take down the inner turret. They make it a 5th, so 5 inner turrets. Only the bot lane one is left standing on the map, and now the Baron's Beat gets less and less relevant as they're going to have so much deep vision, and the sweeps are going to continue to come in from BBQ's wards.
And now we have Kuzan with the Ardent Sensor picked up. So Teddy just got a new item. Copper Smithy. Basically how that one works.
Going to be able to walk up happily, do plenty of damage.
Thankfully though, BBQ this time have actually utilized that back timing, which we were very harsh on them for last time around. Utilized that back timing and just went over to the Baron, cleared out the vision. Kuzan will at least... I probably would have hit Totoro with that Q.
He hit both, I think.
All right, nice.
But he had Unbreakable,
Unbreakable,
so it looked like no damage.
Frustrating.
So Rumble entrenched in the bot lane, pushing out the minion wave. So now it's a 4-man group from BBQ as they sent Jarvan back to respawn. Control wards are good from the line of BBQ, so they can actually at least know there's no advanced vision in their red side, in their blue buff. That does slow down the game again, which is pretty much the main objective for BBQ, given how far behind they fell.
I do really like that at least Jin Air are utilizing what they have in their composition. So they're sending the Rumble to the bottom lane. They've got Kuzan towards the top side of the map. Snowflower is always with one of Umpty or Teddy. So they can do that 5-man collapse if BBQ decides to go for anything. So there's nothing safe that BBQ can try and do aggressively unless Jin Air are all 5 members together already like they were sieging down that turret. But that seemed very successful when we saw it last time.
Next Drake is a Cloud, so not going to be of too much interest to either team. How to get Baron. They're trying to navigate a situation where BBQ are in vision, walk up, and they can get an Abyssal Voyage for a kick, or rotate into the mid lane or bot lane to get further advantages, but the easy advantages are mostly gone here on the side of Jin Air. Don't necessarily lose the game if the timer reads 40 minutes, but it continues to feel that way given how much of a lead they've had.
They are slowly increasing the lead ever more, but you're right, it just doesn't feel like Jin Air have an easy way forward. Not like they're impervious to anything. This time around it's 3 to 5 in kills instead of 5 to nothing.
But movements like this are important. They've actually been fighting to get to the control wards and get vision around the blue buff for a long time. They had double control ward there before, so it's the accumulation of 3 or 4 minutes rotations and crazy being envisioned bot lane that even got them wards on the enemy blue, and now...
Okay. Some of the buttons are going to miss. However, Teddy's still able to lock down that kill.
It really felt like that was a mini-map story because Rumble had to push the bot lane to get Jarvan to show, to get the wards into the blue buff, to force Gragas to face check. Many different steps there needed to happen for Jin Air to get the pick they just did. It looks simple. It looks like a mistake from Bless, but it was accumulation of pressure from Jin Air that forced that face check.
Now, Jin Air just waiting for it once again. They probably don't want to wait for too long. They have now moved over to the Baron. Snowflower makes himself known. No vision available here.
On the Baron's 50% now.
Yep, have to watch out. Equalizer does come in. Great positioning one more time as Crazy slowed on his entry. Looks like Jin Air do want to go for the steal. Tempt is going to get stunned, and that's going to be Umpty locking it down. He's in the backline there as well. Doesn't have the kick, remember. There's Ghost. They're looking for it, but they don't find it. Oh, God, so much damage, but not able to be locked down. It's like Kuzan in game 1. Ghost survives, but that is only one lost for a Baron.
Deathfire Touch, not enough to tick over. A lot of confidence from Ghost there. Could have healed to guarantee the Deathfire Touch wouldn't take him down, but trusted in his calculations. Because Gragas was the first person to fall, they were willing to rush down the Baron. They only give up their support in doing so. So still a success, but you can see the Baron speed is not what we expect from other teams. They still had to trade something, even if it was just the life of their support.
Yeah. Kuzan, good flash, gets himself out of the way, and Snowflower playing the body block game. Another shout out to Ixu for an equalizer that was in a great position to deny Bless anyway, oh sorry, the rest of the team anyway of sort of getting further forward and taking them out while Baron was helping.
Now Kuzan wants a sweet hat to go along with his goblet and his other items. Let's get those shields even bigger.
Yep, he's got his cool looking staff. As far as the staffs in League of Legends are concerned, I think Luden's Echo is my personal favorite.
It's fair.
I've always been a bit of a Luden's Echo fan though.
I'm a bit of a Void man, so the Void staff's where I'm at.
Nice. Bit of a cross-game shout-out, I like it.
Didn't even think about that, but you've got the multi-esport life going now. You're riding high.
Oh yeah.
Saying yes to everyone.
Just proud of recognizing stuff more than anything else. I just think that everything's still that exam that we were talking about a few games ago.
He's hunting for Ghost.
Yep, doesn't get in there. Oh, Totoro taking a lot of damage from Teddy. Chains of Corruption.
Nice equalizer.
Another nice equalizer on both of the damage dealers, and he's now burning them down in the back line. Devour comes in. Snowflower won't have that for a potential unleashed power, but can Tempt actually approach this? The flash forward. And Kuzan just somehow kills Bless with a cheeky Q off the back end. The Inspire Shield is probably enough to save anyone from an ultimate from Tempt if the Athenes is ready as well. So,
and if they win that fight, they have Baron buff minions. They get 2 turrets from it and an inhibitor. They break the base as they would have wanted to with this Baron.
Well, that's just crazy. Jumping in there with a Cataclysm. The Devour comes down from Snowflower. He's going to be the first one to fall. Good reset coming in from Ghost, but look at this damage. Kuzan, he's going to fall. Umpty trying to be the hero as Totoro is taking a lot of damage. Ixu coming in with all of it. Tempt is going to go for a fadeaway, but doesn't get it. They still manage to take down the inhibitor, and it's only Tempt to try and save this one. There's a Gragas in a couple of seconds, but are they going to get this as a consolation?
They will get the mid lane inhibitor turret. They'll even stick on the mid lane inhibitor itself. They started up. Umpty happy to walk up. Teddy has no mana. No equalizer either, of course, although that's coming up soon.
Oh, that was cute. Good placement there from Teddy. Gets himself in front of his turret. He's going to back away. So double inhibitors for that Baron. Nice. I need to stop because I want to talk about how good Jin Air are, but we've just been saying that all night.
You know what? Teddy's such a good AD carry, I'm going to say he purposely got himself bounced into the debris of the turret. As we see the replay, a lot is used to take down Snowflower, but then Teddy's free hitting. And remember, it's Teddy. I mean, they're built around him. It doesn't matter if Kuzan has gone down. If you have a Blade the Ruin King, Hurricane plus more AD carry, free hitting in the backline, this is going to be the result. So the base in complete tatters. The items are close to full completion on the side of Jin Air, and they're one team fight away from ending the game.
Yep. Crazy as well, you saw actually like Flash flag and dragged away from an auto attack that was always going to kill him. That is the worst feeling when you die to a champion that is completely off screen and has a relatively low range. was an auto attack.
This Syndra win rate is going to be in the toilet, Atlas.
I know!
Thanks, Tempt.
Syndra all of a sudden with that one nerf to her W, and that was only area of effect. Now the worst mid laner in the LCK. It's probably not going to go that far. Last turret available here for Jin Air. They are just going to siege around it. 8 turrets to 1, actually. It's pretty gross. There is Teddy being saved once again. This Teddy composition, you know exactly where their bread's buttered.
Where's it buttered, Atlas?
Teddy. Yes, I need the answer to that question.
Minion wave's far away. Minion wave's in mid lane, not pushing in either, so still a bit of time, but this probably has to be the go button for BBQ.
Yep, still waiting for this next minion wave. Without a Baron, makes this harder.
This is the time. Accumulation of pressure coming in the base. You either compete now, BBQ, or you kind of accept the game loss.
They brought a super minion over. They do have a lot of wave clear, though, by the looks of things. Enough to get themselves in here. The fortification bonus helping them out.
A lot of shield.
Yeah. With the ramp-up damage.
Lister can make away with most of it, but you can see Nexus turret starting to take damage. They don't want Ixu to ferry in the minions on the bot side. They really want to rely on it being a good equalizer. Could just use it to try and zone.
Yep.
Well,
there's an
Teddy's
opportunity
low.
now. Here goes the equalizer, and they're all zoned. Crazy. Has to get himself out of the fight. Ixu now without that cooldown, but has softened up members of BBQ.
Yeah, they got onto Teddy, but he got devoured. He got through. He's not low in health either. He'll stay pretty damn healthy, and now Cataclysm is gone. Now Glacial Fissure's down. Now also Fate's Call is down. And Devour, of course, has such a short cooldown. So Teddy, he can finally walk up. He couldn't do it for the longest time.
Oh, he even just takes the matter into his own hands. Unbreakable stops the piercing arrow, and now Teddy walks up. Big shield, and another Devour. No Cataclysms for Crazy. It was already still on cooldown.
Tahm Kench, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep, that is why he's been banned a heck of a lot. And what is that? Does that make almost 5 champions almost perma-banned now in this current patch?
Blue side!
7-Eleven, it's a convenience store. There are so many picks.
And you know what we have?
All of the options.
You know what we have on display? Blue side wins for you. Everybody gets a blue side win.
Oh, is this win-free patch as well?
Yay.
Oh, yeah. I love it. Kuzan still poking forward. That is the final inhibitor falling. There's Ixu. He's taking a lot of damage. Forced to use the Zhonya's. Snowflower is here. He's going to get belly booped, and that's the Rumble dead. Snowflower knocked in. That's going to be 2 picks. And now Kuzan, he's forced to use the flash to get himself out. So BBQ, just after their whole base falls apart, they win themselves a fight.
What does it mean, Atlas? You know, going to be a defining victory for BBQ if they can turn around such a big disadvantage. They have a lot of ways to stall, but BBQ may not get to stall as Jin Air decide they want to kill Ghost.
Oh. Yeah, well, he's going to struggle to survive this one. And predictably, he dies.
Yeah, nothing you could do there. They would have expected the 3 members to go back. They got a lot of gold. They've been sitting on that stall, and the stall around the top lane inhibitor turret was a good 3-4 minutes, so the purses would have been quite large on the side of Jin Air. But they decide with a pick, they can get Elder Dragon, they can back, they can freshly shop. Don't have to deal with too many more turrets to end the game, and Jin Air Green Wings continue to make smart decisions, even when they give up 2 members.
Yeah. Smart decisions, maybe a little bit, well, definitely very, very conservative decisions. I feel like they could have just got Baron, gone back, and won the game. Instead, Elder Drake, Baron win the game. It's not too much longer. You get to take more stuff as well. More stuff, always good. Especially if we're continuing on with your Oprah Winfrey style of analogy.
And Teddy didn't have enough gold for Infinity Edge. He actually killed the Scuttle Crab, hoping he'd get there. Didn't get there. Just built Asterix Gauge, which actually is really bad on
yeah.
with the new version, but I like what it means. It means I would like to walk up as much as possible.
Yeah, I would like to have more health and a shield, please. More shields, please.
Less shields than before, but still shields.
Yeah, at least he's not doubling it up with the lifeline passive of a more of Malmortius or something like that. That would have been extra embarrassing.
Pick up a red buff, end the game. All right, Jin Air. You're sending back the timer a little bit. It's 36:50, but
there needs to be nothing left on the map.
But at least everything they've done has been smart. There's never been the question marks of why. Sure,
yeah.
Maybe an overstay, but every objective they've fought for has been the right one. And sure, the games haven't been filled with kills. I'm sure a lot of people are upset that it's been less bloody. But Jin Air continue to be workmanlike in making good decisions. And that still is novel enough for me that I can support what they're doing.
And in the end, it's about winning. It's not about looking good, you know.
I mean, both is the best.
Both are definitely cool, but Teddy would have liked the shield first. He's got lifesteal. Wow, he's got a lot of lifesteal. That's only double, isn't it? Oh, he's got Elixir of Wrath as well. Goodness gracious me.
There's the max, I know him now. Well, Teddy's walking up. He's got a lot of shields and a Devour.
Yep. Just wanders forward and kills an inhibitor. Need to take the mid lane one down as well, but that was completed earlier. Partially off screen as there's a Chains of Corruption. Really nice equalizer as well as Tempt has to flash his way out. Crazy well and truly in there. You got BBQ committing to this fight, but they're losing their health bars. Massive damage. 3 people pop in an instant, make that 4. And Crazy's tanky, but it'd be crazy to leave the fountain right now. It's beautiful play from Jin Air to get the 2-0 over BBQ.
Another great performance from Jin Air, and we have these two teams going up, Atlas, Longzhu and Jin Air. They both had, on paper, easy assignments today. But I have to say, I didn't expect double 2-0s and the level of clean play, because suddenly, if you ask me, on this day, are Longzhu and Jin Air top 5 teams? That's how it reads on the table, but there's Marin, there's other stars in the league. Surely it's a joke. No, both these teams look like they deserve their spot in the top 5.
Yeah, and you've also got the name and prestige of the Rocks Tigers, who are sitting very far towards the bottom. If you look at last season,
MVP.
There's a switch of where these guys were. Yeah, MVP now sitting directly on the bottom, and they were number 4. This is ludicrous.
Jin Air finished 9th in spring season, made no roster changes. Longzhu bought their subs out and found a player that was on the sub roster in China, finished 7th, and now look like a top 4 team.
Yeah.
It's madness, but little changes in both ideology and lineup have led to big changes on the Rift.
Yeah, and it just shows that mentality and momentum are so important. We have to remember that Jin Air were coming off a loss, 0-2 to KT. This bounce back, I know it's against BBQ, it's a team that's not necessarily performing super well so far, but a win is a win. And to do it like that is exceptional. If you would, like, Longzhu's victory earlier on today was, if you can cast your minds back to their win over MVP, still very structured, very controlled, very organic victories, but they weren't stretched at all. Whereas BBQ were going for things, and Jin Air were just better, even in the micro exchanges and their decision making.
If I have to conceptualize Jin Air right now, they remind me of MVP in spring, but with stars. Because remember, MVP was more than the sum of their parts. If you ask the best player, summer last year, beyond. This year, you'd be like, I mean, they're all pretty good. With Jin Air, they have Teddy. He is a superstar. They have making a reputation from the jungle. They don't have a lot of weak members either. So they were 4th place MVP in spring season. That's an achievable goal for Jin Air. They were dominated by KT Rolster. They faced SKT in their next match on Tuesday. They might get dominated again. But the fact that they could back up the KT loss with this level of clean play against BBQ is more about Jin Air than it is about BBQ's struggles.
Yeah, the intelligence, playing around their compositions, playing around Teddy, who most certainly delivered. So the Zaya damage coming out of Ghost in the last game, well, it's looking pretty reminiscent of a graph like this. So does Jin Air Green Wings able to pick up a victory behind that massive Eddie carry. And Umti's going to be the one to pick up the MVP, and so well deserved. It feels like every time he gets Lee Sin, he deserves one of these, to be honest.
He's so good. When we first saw him come into the team, I was talking to Lost Boy, actually, and I was asking him, they've got these new players, because Teddy and Umti played very long, and Teddy played in the Kesper Cup, and he said both of them were the real deal. And Teddy certainly, very quickly, showed that, and Umti now is showing it as well. So just coming from the Challenger roster, just coming from being good in solo queue, both of them are translating it to competitive at the same time now in summer season. And the end result is a pleasure to watch, because good young talent to complement all the stars that came in is why LCK 2017 is so great, because it's not just bring in as many superstars as possible and win the league. Maybe KT versus SKT will be the final with that many stars, but it's not everybody else being filtered in based on seniority, based on pay. We have a lot of young players coming in, making their fortunes, and doing damn good while they do it.
Yeah, and I feel like it's synergy, team coordination, and good mentality in practice, coaching as well. All of these factors are becoming so much more important than just having the best players on your team. And so it's really brilliant to see teams like Jin Air Green Wings get to a point where their mentality's sorted out and their players play so well together. Some of this coordination, and another shout out to Ixu, the way that he played his Rumble this game after
1-8.
so many losses. Yeah.
To go from 1-8 on a champion that is a mastery champion to playing a game like this where nameplates off, it could have been Huni, it could have been Marin. It was that good in terms of equalizers. Khan and Ixu joining the ranks of some of our top Rumble players still have to play it more to be uttered in exactly the same breath. Great performance from Jin Air and Umti. Keeps playing like this and keep getting these MVP interviews.
Yep, super well deserved. And I'm extraordinarily excited because you do know what this means, Papa Smithy.
What does
it
it
is
mean?
Snowflower and Umti to be interviewed. Snowflower, always a joy. And Joel, take it away with the translation.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Joe, and with your interview translations one last time, we're here with Jin Air Green Wings, who get the glad plane that they won because they get a 2-0 victory against the BBQ, Oliver. And we're here with today's MVP, Snowflower Umti, for the interview. How do you feel to get the MVP? You know, getting in with the Rakan is the best feeling in the world. I love that champion. I love you, Rakan. You got the Rakan as the MVP last time around. And it seemed like, you know, with the Kalista that you had to play with, how was that? Yeah, to be honest, I did practice a lot. And I think, you know, Teddy and I think we both deserved MVP here. Yeah, he really helped me out a lot with these picks. And Umti, you seem really energized throughout the series. Yeah, I have 2 pairs of clothing and neither have the buttons on, so it seems like I'm just like buttoning down everything and showing all of my skin, you know? Yeah, unfortunately, I had to show a lot of skin today. Yeah, a lot of comments. We're going to your way, Umti. But how was your games? Yeah, I can't really deny my manliness. You got 3 MVPs for this season, and you got all of them with just Lee Sin. How is that? Yeah, I feel like, you know, I had the one thing unfortunate is that I've had more than 3 games where I played good with Lee Sin, but I only got 3 MVPs out of it, so that's the most unfortunate part for me. In the first game, you picked off the Elise with the first game, and we thought that, you know, we thought you would have picked something else over the Elise. But what was the decision for the Elise pick? Yeah, we always consider every game to be a long game, and getting something like an Elise, you know, it extends us to the late game and it allows us to be safe even around that time zone. So, do you think it's better than Zach? I feel like those two are kind of indistinguishable compared to tiers. Was there a reason why the LeBlanc was picked earlier? Yeah, Kuzan has a couple of champions that he has a lot of confidence on, and LeBlanc is one of them. So that's why we picked it up today. And another important fact is that from all the wins that you guys had, except one game, you guys had the Rift Herald in your bag for all of those games that you guys won. What was the difference in the strategy there with the recent patch? I think the biggest change is the guy next to me. With Umti here, you know, making the biggest change throughout the offseason. I think, you know, he just goes all over the place now. He just gets the kills, he gets us assists, and just really carries the games for us. So the guy next to me deserves all the credit. Umti, do you have any comments regarding that? You know, I think, you know, in spring it's true that, you know, my teammates were telling me not to die, you know, just stop dying. But because of those things, I worked even harder during the offseason to improve on my, you know, aspects of jungling in every way. So I think I'm very happy with my current self now. And the Baron timing was really impeccable of how you guys picked off that timing when the opposition was really unaware. who really makes those shot calling going forward?
예상도 좀 하면서 그렇게 치셨나요? 어떻게 보세요?
일단 뭐 그런 거 제가 다 했고요.
For shot calling, it's all me.
팀이 이미 저희가
And I feel like, as a supporter, I have a better vision of, what the other team is up to. And,
리스랑 저랑 치면서
but when I was with Elise hitting the Baron, we thought that we could have enough time to pick up the Baron and sneak it up as fast as we could.
무조건 봐야죠. 네, 한번 보겠습니다.
We do have a video highlight
여기서
of Rakan.
주실 수 있나요?
Do you have any tips regarding the skills of Rakan? If you get Alt W in that order, you get the charm and also the knockup at the same time. So that's actually a tip you guys can use. So you guys can get the both very crucial CCs at the same time.
있나요?
스프링 때부터 자신감이 정말 넘쳤는데 이번 서머 시즌에 와서 빛이 발하는 것 같아요.
I feel like, we all had confidence in spring season, but it's really shining to its fullest in this season. So I'm really happy for our team.
그리고 이 세트에서 신드라를 이제 상대가 또 가져갔는데
And game 2
을 꺼내 들었어요.
was an interesting thing where, they picked up the Syndra, but you guys got the karma to the counter of that. Was there a reason for that specific counter?
미드에서 등장한 이유는 서폿으로 가면은 이제 깡통 괴물과 초록 괴물 있거든요.
The reason why we have to take it in mid and not support was that, if we were trying to take the karma bot, the opposition would easily take advantage of that and we will lose out that matchup.
연결되는 얘기가 그렇게 신드라를 계속해서 풀어도 괜찮았던 자신감의 원인.
And it seems like even if you guys do change up on the roles of specific champions, you guys still maintain that confidence.
타이밍 같은 거는 진짜 자신감 있게 좀 가는 건가요?
But right now, what's the situation with the level 2 ganks that you guys show with that confidence?
그날마다 제가 설정을 할 수 있는 거잖아요.
Yeah, I think ganks are so inconsistent that, it differs so much from each game and each game out.
이용하는 게 더 편하시.
And just based on, how the game is flowing and what the opportunities that open up to you, you can always take those opportunities that open up to you and really try to go for those ganks whenever possible.
보면서 이야기 나눠보도록 하겠습니다.
I think we have a video highlight of that kind of example. Level 2 gank right here.
여기서는 과감히 전멸 딱 음파로. 이때 이미 와 게임 잘 풀린다. 이렇게
Did you kind of see another win coming after this?
카르마 더블 걸린 순간에 이제
Yeah, ever since, as soon as we got the Karma W in, that gank was pretty successful already.
하는 거 아닌가 이런 생각이 들었는데 어느새 탑에
And we thought that you were actually going to die here, but with the equalizer, you guys finish it off.
빙 오는 거 보고 그 전에 콜을 하고 한 20초 전쯤 콜을 하고
Yeah, I already made the call to, help, ask for backup, when I was going with the roam.
네, 사실 그렇게 하니까 또 요즘 억디 선수의 기량이
And of course, I'm telling you, shot calling has improved over the season, and it's really impressive to see.
4승째를 기록했어요. 그런데 다음 매치가 또 LCK
But you guys have a
SKT
lot of wins, but you have to get one more win series against a strong opponent in the next series, which is against SK Telecom. Would you like to say anything to that?
이제 4승째인데 저희가
We're already at our 4 series win,
마무리 지었거든요.
and we just had all the motivation in the world that we were going to play well this season. And we're not afraid of anyone at this point. We just want to do exactly how we're doing right now and just hope to get a successful season by the end of the season.
이렇게 해서 멋진 승리를
And that seems to be the end of the interview. Back over to you guys.
Thank you very much, Joel. I just love listening to Snowflower be over the top levels of confident. That is my favorite thing.
He doesn't even have to take pot shots at his old teammates. He's just focusing on what's at hand. His shot calling, his team, and Jin Air Green Wings continue to grow. Great performance from him on Rakan in Game 1. Umti had a day out on Lee Sin in Game 2, and 4 clean games means we actually get a pretty early night, Atlas.
Yeah, exactly. I don't even know what to do with myself, Papa Smithy. Last time we were here on this desk, it was a ridiculously long night. But as you can see, Jin Air Green Wings hot on the heels of Longzhu Gaming, and the top 5 here in the LCK is a really, really exciting part of this entire league, because all of these teams are playing so well right now.
And a bit eclectic too. The top 3,
Yeah.
they're the world's favorites. The next 2, they're up-and-comers in the summer season. And Afrika Freaks, I'm sure they will be in the mix as well for top 5. Will any of the teams in the bottom 4 separate themselves? Will MVP get themselves off the bottom of the table, which I don't think anyone would have predicted 6 matches in? A lot of what-ifs, but that's the great thing about leagues, and more developments as soon as tomorrow.
Especially when there's so many games. But Afrika Freaks face off against SK Telecom. Marin's revenge potentially if they can do well, as Samsung looks to deal with Ever8 winners, and if Ever8 can get a surprise here, that would be a massive story.
Yeah, even a game there would be big for Everett. Looked mentally done, you have to say.
Oh, yeah.
Earlier this week, so big ask there, but that ends our coverage for this week. It's been a fun one, Atlas.
It most certainly has, and I didn't have many expectations for today. If you remember, I opened my show, I said it could potentially be rough, but honestly, it wasn't. We learned some fantastic things about both of our winning teams here today.
And that's the cool thing, is now, next time Longzhou or Jin Air play, you can be more confident. You can have higher expectations. Yeah. They've performed super cleanly. Their play, not always their opposition's play, their play can be directly complemented, and that means more because, sure, sometimes you just win 2-0 because the level of your opposition is too low. Maybe that was the case with MVP in Series 1, but still a lot to take away from both these teams and potentially use moving forward.
Yeah, and even individual players as well. BDD confirming the fact that his Taliyah is up there with the best in this league. We have such good Taliyah players. Ixu as well is Rumble making a resurgence. Some fantastic things to learn. But ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be switching off this evening relatively early. We'll see you very, very soon.